Hello my beautiful friends and welcome to Tailor Made Beauty by Kris. I'm Kris. I don't know that I have ever said that in an intro, but there you go. I am so excited. If you follow me on Instagram, where you can find me at Tailor Made Beauty by Kris, you know that this arrived yesterday, and isn't she beautiful? I agonized over whether to get this palette or not, right? I love Pat, I love her stuff. It's hella expensive, right? This palette is $125. But you may know, I scored one of those $100 Sephora gift cards with my points. So basically I got it for $25, which is about the only way I could justify it right now. There's been a lot of talk comparing this to Divine Rose 1 and Divine Rose 2, both of which I own, but Pat doesn't disappoint, and honestly, I just had to. So it is the standard black lacquer packaging, like Mel said, Mel Thompson. If you don't follow Mel, you might just check her out. I love her for her reviews on eyeshadows. I totally trust her. She's a former makeup artist for MAC and she's got great technique. Anyway, normally I wait for Mel to review something, you know, that I'm kind of on the fence about. But this, I just had to. And then when Mel got it, she gushed about it. So I felt better about it. So let's, okay. Yeah. There you go. If you do own Divine Rose 1 and or Divine Rose 2, you know, from about here over, might look a little familiar, but I just, there was just something about this palette. So let's stop jabbering about it. Let's swatch. So they have names, all right, but for the purposes of swatching, I'm just gonna go this way. And so we've got, all right, as always, the pigmentation on these is amazing. And that is Skin Show Nude Ecstasy and Extreme Plum Noir. And of course, now, if you're wondering, why do I put it on my fingers and then put it on my hands? I'll tell you why. Because when I put it on my fingers, I get a feel for how it's going to pick up out of the pan. And then when I go ahead and put it on the back of my hand, I get a really good feel for how it's going to go on my eyes. How well does it transfer? So that is gorgeous. That was Secret Eden is the matte and Cosmic Bloom. Oh, it is very glittery. You know, Pat's shimmers sometimes feel like they don't actually have glitter in them, but it feels like it because they're so sparkly and lovely. Yeah, that's what's going on. Now here, Bronze Desire and Shockwave. And there's been a lot of talk about Shockwave and what it looks like. And honestly, one of the main reasons I have for buying a Pat McGrath palette, or at least wanting to see it in store, let me stop there for a second. Had they actually had this in my local Sephora, I would have gone and swatched it there and then made up my mind. None of my local Sephoras had it. I don't even know if it's in local Sephoras, but they did have it online. And this Shockwave, so Mel said it looked like a neon peach. I won't go so far as to say neon peach. I will go so far as to say that's a, a bold, beautiful color. I was swooning over that metallic. That Bronze Desire is the metallic, or the shimmer metallic. And then Shockwave is that matte kind of peachy color. It's bold. I don't know if I'm going to use it in today's look, but I will do a look using that color just to prove that you can be over 50, use a color like that, and not look like you're part of the circus. All right, the next two, Bronze Solaris 005 and Blitz Extreme. So those two. Okay. Yeah, the Bronze Solaris, that bottom one there, that is amazing. And the, sorry, that's the Blitz Sex Stream. That was amazing. Bronze Solaris is actually this kind of gold color. And it's pretty sheer. There you go. And as Mel was saying, we have gold in so many palettes. Like, enough of the gold already, Pat. And I kind of feel like, yeah, enough of the gold already. But I get it, sort of. And last but not least, this is the Astral Venusian Orchid and Astral Amethyst Moon. So Orchid is on top, Moon's on the bottom. Oh, those shimmer so beautifully. And let's just put, oh yeah, Mama is gonna sparkle today. All right, so there are the swatches. That's how they're gonna go down. I also purchased the wand. What is this called? The IntensifEYES Artistry Wand. This is just supposed to, as I understand it, like some people wet their brush for applying shimmers or metallics. And then there's glitter glue for glitters. This is not a glitter glue, but I think it just intensifies the shimmers. So yeah, we're gonna try that. And let's, I'm gonna go in with the Secret Eden, the lightest matte shade, and using a small crease brush, a MAC 213. All right. Yep, oh. You know what, it goes down beautifully, it blends beautifully. Right now I'm trying to work it up a little bit. Did you notice when I opened my eye that kind of disappeared? And so I wanted to sheet it up, work it up a bit, which kind of increases the level of my eye crease, gives me a little lift. Okay. I think I'm going to pick up a little bit more of that and just do a little foundation out here for what's going to come for the darker shade. And I am going to go in with something really tiny. See how tiny this is? A little bit on the dense side. It's a Rephr 03. And going into that other matte, that Extreme Plum Noir. And I'm trying something a little bit different. I just am feeling lately like I'm not getting really precise with my darkening shades. So I'm just trying something. And what that is what I showed you on the Wet n Wild, is I'm just gonna kind of dot it to see if that works. Well, dotting isn't working great, but just little strokes. And did you notice here, I came kind of to the outside corner and straight down, and like there's all this room out here still, where normally I would come out and angle in, but I was finding like it was just feeling too dark. So I've been experimenting with just making that a really, I mean, when my eye is closed, it looks really strange, but I think when my eye is open, and you'll see when I blend it, that it just helps me put the darkness where I want it. So let's go ahead, big fluffy Wayne Goss here, and blend. Yeah, now I can see, okay, yes, I want that darker color a little farther out. So now it's really easy for me to put it out there. And then blend it. I just feel like I have more control that way, and I'm more likely to get the look I am going for. Let's get this wand out. It's got kind of a triangular end there. And my understanding is once you crank it up, you can't crank it back down. So, oh, there we go. Slowly, push that button on the bottom and then it comes out. And it feels, what does it feel like? Like a lip balm that glides really easily. Okay? So, yeah. And I like, you know, it, especially in my eyes, it is sized just right. Swipe it across with that pointy end down at my lash line. And, you know, I have to go into this, what is that one? Astral Amethyst Moon. It's, what a fabulous shade. Fabulous. And this is a Sephora brush, but it is a flat, dense shader brush that I'm going to pick that up with. And, yeah, that is going to take a lot. Oh, there we go. Now it's picking up and putting down. Oh, that is amazing. Okay, I have an appointment today with my optometrist, who happens to also be a friend of mine. And isn't he going to have an eyeful today? But that's okay. It'll be fun. All right, that is really so pretty. It's just this blue-based, light purple hue, and then all that gorgeous sparkle. All right. And I will say that, yes, that that wand, the whatever wand, I like how that's bringing it out. Okay, let's, I feel like I am just completely losing what I did on the outside there. So let me find another brush. Okay, this is just a flat brush like my beloved Morphe brush, going back into that darker matte shade. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start under my eye, lower lashes, so that I can kind of do the reverse cat eye and bring it up. As I've said before, who knew that that's what I've been doing all these years? Reverse cat eye. And then I can work it on the outside corner here. And just clean that up a wee bit. All right, and I am just picking up, what shade was this? The Skin Show Nude Ecstasy, this bright light shade here for under my brow bone. All right, just a dab back in that darker shade for cleaning this up. And then dabbing into the lighter shade again. Oh, so lovely. Okay, I'm gonna even myself up and finish up. And here we are, and I have to say I am absolutely loving how this eyeshadow is making my green eyes pop. And I am absolutely in love with the sparkle. So this is it for look one. Let's do another one. I absolutely loved that look I did yesterday. It was so much fun, and I think for the first time ever, my husband commented on my eyeshadow. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean he liked it, but he did notice it. All right, there you go. Today we are doing this lovely, dramatic look, and let me show you how I got it. I got one of these crease kits off of Amazon, and I've just been playing with it. I can't say I love it yet, but sometimes it's interesting. And I am gonna go in with that darkest matte that I was using for darkening up my corner yesterday. And this brush, this is a Wayne Goss 07. It's a really interesting brush. It's very soft and it's really tapered. So it's got some really long bristles and some shorter ones. And honestly, I am still kind of getting the hang of how to use it. But today, because I didn't want a super dark, all over the place crease, I wanted to leave the spot below it empty. And I knew that this would give me a lighter wash of that dark color, if that makes sense. And so I really raise my eyebrows as much as I can, and I look down and I just start here on the outer side and then bring it in. And so as you can see, this crease shield is preventing the eyeshadow from going down on the movable part of my lid. And it is allowing me just to give a wash of color here. Yeah. And that's how I started this eye. I am taking a MAC 238. This is just kind of a basic shader brush, and going into, what is this one? Blitz Extreme. This is a duochrome shifting eyeshadow, and I'm going to pick it up. Sorry, I forgot to put down my wand. I did use that on the first side. I want to make sure I get that on the second side here. It is so easy to use. It did not tighten my eyelid yesterday. It definitely helped that shimmer stay vibrant for a good 10 hours. So now I'm picking up that Blitz Extreme, and I'm going to go on the outer corner here, just up to that line I created. Pick up a little bit more and then go on the inner. So I'm creating a halo look today. And here I hope it's showing up on camera. When I look straight on, you can see it, to me, I can see the two different colors. So when I rotate my head, I hope you can see that color shift. So I think it's beautiful. It's super fun to play with. On this particular look, it has the effect of it looking, I feel like, lighter on my inner corner and darker on my outer corner, which is exactly what I'm going for. Now I'm going to just flip that brush over, and I am going into Bronze Desire. Let me see which side that was. I think it was this one. And that is just going right in the center. All right. Now I'm going to take my finger and go into Bronze Solaris 005. It's not a bronze at all to me, it's gold, and I'm working that on there. And then I am just pressing that over that middle shade and overlapping the outer parts of the halo just a wee bit. Then to finish up, I am going back with that Wayne Goss kind of fluffy crease brush just to darken it up freehand a little bit here. Give me a little more depth there. And I'm going in with the MAC 221. to that lighter matte that I used a lot in yesterday's look, and just going over the whole thing, blending it in, smoothing it out, and taking a flat brush back into the dark matte, the Plum Noir, and doing my lower lash line with that. There we go. And here's today's look all done up with mascara. I did no tight lining today because I felt like I had enough darkness and definition in this look. Also, I would have popped on false eyelashes to really pump up the volume on this, but I didn't want to lose my lid space to the magnetic eyeliner, so I just went with mascara. And I meant to give a shout out to Sarah. Hi! She threaded my brows yesterday and I believe she's watching. Today I was really determined to use that Shockwave shade. That is this matte, I think I mentioned Mel described it as neon peach. I would not describe it as such. It is a bright color. It is a very bright coral, maybe. And I can guarantee that what you are seeing on screen doesn't do any justice for what is actually in person, which is unfortunate with this shade. However, I think I created something that makes it a very usable, lovely shade. So I'm going to show you how I did this look. Also, I learned a lesson on this eye that I really need to share with you. But I'm going to start out with a fluffy crease brush. This one is from Sonia G. It's called the Crease Pro. And I'm going to show you that I'm just gently dipping it in, tapping it off, and with a light hand, starting up higher in my crease. I'm not going into my natural crease, I'm going way up high on the bone and just starting to put that color down with a little wiper motion. I don't think that I've mentioned that all of these looks I have been priming my eyelids with MAC Paint Pot in the shade Painterly. And this look was inspired, now I'm going to move my brush all the way across my lid with that wiper motion. This look was inspired by one that Alexandria and Neil did, A-N-E-L-E. I'm going to link her video in this description box below because it was super informative the way she talked about eyeshadow being how we contour our eyes. And I just, like I said, it was inspiring and super informative. So if you're curious, definitely check her out. All right, so you can see when I put it down, there was quite a bit of color, but all that moving back and forth and blending and blending and blending just gave it the slightest wash of color. In fact, even kind of like for a one and done, right? That could so easily be a one and done. Very soft, very subtle. It ain't gonna be one and done for us. So what I'm gonna do is pick up just a wee bit more, kind of basically the same thing I just did. And again, focusing it mostly at the outer third and working it back in. This is something that I've been working on lately, that when you watch professional makeup artists, and I am certainly not a professional makeup artist, self-taught, doing what you're doing, watching the YouTubes. You cannot get these looks by just 1, 2, 3 and done. There's a reason that they blend and blend and blend, and I really am discovering the wisdom in that. So there we go. I've just built up the color. Now I am moving to a MAC 221. So there's a comparison of those two. All right, that bigger one is the one I started out with. Now I'm moving to a smaller one. Sorry, itch on my nose there. And again, I'm not picking up a ton. I am rolling it maybe once or twice more in the color than I did before. What I'm going to do with this brush now is on the bottom edge of where that wash of color is, which is in my natural crease, and just cheating it up a little tiny bit. All right, I'm going to give you a look there so you can see that's just deepened that color there a little bit. And then I'm going to bring it all the way across. And sometimes it's a little bit easier, tilt my head back and kind of look down my nose into the mirror so that my eyelid can be flattened out, but I can still see. All right. So you can see that's building it up. And now one more time, and I'm getting a little frustrated because I used this sparkle shade. What is it called? It's called Astral Venusian Orchid. It ought to be called It's a Pain in the Ass. It went everywhere. I tried to clean it up. I am sparkly everywhere. Thankfully, we have a mask mandate in Washington State again, so when I go to Costco in an hour, it's going to be covered up with a mask. Anyway, back to the important stuff. The eyelid. And that noise reminds me that I need to oil the doors down here. Okay. So, yep, that's my kiddo.
I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting that.
Okay, well, I am shooting, my love. Oh, all right. They're going off to college in a week. And the closer we get, the more I'm feeling the tears build up. Have you sent kiddos off to college? You got any words of advice for me? Leave them down below, would ya? That would be lovely. Give this video a like. Show me some sympathy. All right, so I think we're just about done with this electric peach color up on top, officially called Shockwave. And that's really where I left it, on the upper lid. Now what I'm going to do is teeny tiny brush, a Rephr 03, picking up, in fact you can see just left over from when I did the first eye. Look at, that's it, right? Just tapped it in there. And going like the center half of my lower lash line. Not even really bringing it out all the way to the corner. Just sort of the center. Okay? Now, I'm going to do the second eye a wee bit different than the first one because I learned, hopefully I learned. I am loving this wand of hers, this, I don't remember what she called it, magic wand. Eye Makeup Intensifier. Yes. IntensifEYES Artistry Wand. There we go. I knew she had a wand in there somewhere. I am really, really appreciating what this does for shimmers and even this absolutely unruly glittery mess. Okay. First eye, I went in with this one first. Big mistake. I'm going to go in with the Skin Show Nude Ecstasy. This, you know, it's a really lovely, bright color. And just doing that on the movable part of my lid all the way across. I think this gives it kind of a creamsicle look. It's a pretty look, definitely. And now, with the most comfort that I can muster, I'm going to use my pinky and pick up that. Oh. All All right, I didn't quite understand why it was called Orchid. And just now, as it was passing through my line of sight, I'm like, oh, from this really oblique angle, it looks lavender. Head on, it's not. Is it a... I don't know, I don't get a big shift. Certainly not on camera. I don't get a big shift in person. I don't know, maybe it's just reflecting the purple color. Anyway, who knows? And now I'm just pressing it very carefully onto the movable part of my eye. All right, so that wasn't such the hot mess that this one turned into. And then what I already did on this eye, I tight lined with Marc Jacobs in the shade. I don't know that it matters because you can't get this stuff anymore. I'm so upset about that. The heck with it. I don't know what shade it is. It's a sparkly gray. Find the sparkly gray eyeliner of your choice if you want to recreate this look. By the way, Marc Jacobs is not getting out of the makeup business. He lost his distribution deal with his old company. They're looking for a new one. I don't know if that means that all of our beloved products are coming back. I do know that on his website and Sephora and everybody, you know, everything was half off and they're getting rid of it all, and there's none of these to be had. Anyway, back in a second. And here's my finished look. I really wanted to make the eyes the star, so I went with a very sheer, almost nude blush, and then clearly very nude on the lips. And you know what? I really like it. I honestly, I wasn't sure how I felt about the color. There's like the one color that I was like, oh, I ain't never gonna use that color. But you know what? This isn't bad. I kind of like this look. So there you go. And I was, as I was finishing up and coming back to shoot this, I'm like, all right, I've got 3 looks. Do I go for a 4th in this video? Is it getting too long? And I'm looking at this palette and I think those 4... Hello, Editing Kris here. This video is already a half hour long, and so I gotta end it here. If you want to see that look, leave me a comment down below and like the video, and I'll shoot another one.